is Hetu. Welcome. Welcome back to ETL Lab. And so, in the previous session, we have looked at aggregate function, and we have looked at five different aggregate function: mean, max, count, sum, and average, which are the common aggregate function in SQL. And so, in this session, we will look at the in continuation with the aggregate function. There is a clause that is called group by clause, and which is very important and uh, wherever you go for interview they will definitely ask the question which can be framed based on the group by function, right? So we will also cover the questions that those are the possible questions, right, to clear the concept around it. But then first of all, let's try to understand what is the group by function in detail, right? And we will see the practical aspect of it. And if you pay attention, I am sure that you will be able to understand the group by function in more detail. I think the group by function, the clause is it's most confusing at the same time, right? So I hope that you will pay attention and you will be able to understand the concept. Okay, so let's move to the group by definition, right? What is the group by clause, right? So previously we have also looked at the order by clause is nothing but it basically sorts out the data based on ascending or descending order, right? But what is group by? So as name suggests, group by is basically grouping the data, right? Grouping the data on certain certain common values, right? So the group by statement groups rows that have the same values in the summary rows, right? So whichever rows we are actually selecting, those are called the summary rows, right? So I will explain it, once I will show you the example also, then it will be more clear. But for now, you understand that grouping the data which are having the same value, right? And group by is often used with the aggregate function that I said. We have got the five aggregate function right here: mean, max, count, sum, and average, right? And this grouping of the data will happen on this aggregate function itself, right? And now if you look at it, okay, so let's do one thing. I'll come back here later, but let's try to understand the group by first, yeah, as a concept, right? So let me go to table and then I can just explain you here. All right, guys. So you can see that we have 15 rows here, and I want to use the group by on this particular table. All right. So as a normal, as in layman language, what is group by? Let's say I have these department numbers, right? So I have buckets. Okay, in that bucket what I will do is I will write all this department number in one piece of paper, right? 100, 101, similarly all of them I will write, right? So 15 different piece of paper I will write all of them, and I have the different bucket for each of these departments. So whichever number is coming, I will put those into those bucket, right? So for example, I will take one bucket and I will put 100, all of the 100, the papers which are having written 100. I will take all the pieces of paper and I will just put into that bucket. Similarly, 101, 103, right? So then how many buckets I will have ending having that? One, two, one, all right, two, three, four, I think five, right? So five different buckets I will have, and then all this will happen, right? Now what will happen is based on this, I have so what I did, I basically grouped the employees based on the department number, obviously, right? Now I have several things that I can do, right? So using the group by function, one thing that I can do is I can just count how many employees are there in each of the department, right? So that's very simple, right? I will just go and count the piece of on the paper how many are there in each of the bucket, right? So let's say 100. I have got one, two, three, four. Yes. So against 100 number, then I can write the department number 100. Against that there is a count 4, right? Something like that. So 101 there will be 2, right? So something like that, I can just count the employee number. This is how we can do it, right? Now, if somebody can ask you the question, okay, so can you please find out the sum of the salary, means total salary for each of the department? What I will do is, then again I will, in that paper, maybe I can also write the salary, isn't it, for let's say this particular employee, correct? I mean, I can write the employee number and then also salary and then department number, and then I can just add up, right? So this salary of this, salary of this, salary of this, salary of this, basically the employee number, right? So for all this employee, I can just add it up, and then I can say, okay, so for each of the department number, this is the sum of the salary for all the employees in that particular department number. So similarly, 101, 103, 104, and 106. Similarly, I can also find what is the maximum salary in each of the department, right? So for example, if I want to find the maximum salary in each of the department, then I have to go and check for 100, okay, and then I will see the salary here. As we have seen in the previous session, that null value will always be ignored, so that will not be counted anyways. So for 100, this is the salary, and this is salary. So you see, guys, this is the minimum salary, right? For 100, 1,000, and then maximum salary is how much? 30,000, right? So you see here for this 30,000, and here also 30. So anyone can be, I mean, it's a duplicate, right? But if I say maximum, then it would be 30,000. So similarly, I can find out for other department also, right? So this is what the concept is. Similarly for average and all. So I hope that you understood the concept, right? What is the group by function? It basically groups the rows based on the summary column, or whatever you call this, based on this particular department number in this case, right? So let's try to take up the question and try to figure out. Yeah, okay, guys. So before that, what we will see is, we will try to see what is the syntax of this group by, first of all. So here is the syntax, guys. So we always have to write up to here. I think you are very clear, because we have been using at the multiple places, right? Even we have used the order by, right, in the I think order by clause when we have used. So select, and then column names we have to write, and then we have to write from. This is the normal select star from. That's what we do, and then where clause. After that, we have to put immediately the where clause, and then group by, and then order by at the end. So this is the syntax that you have to follow. You cannot shuffle it, right? So you cannot write where clause, after group by or after order by. It has to be in this order only. Okay. So this can be also one of the interview question. They can ask you, given this select from where, group by, order by. What is the order? What is the SQL query order? How do you write it, right? So this can be one of the questions. So just bear in mind, I think. And once you start practicing, guys, it will come automatically. You no need to remember it, right? So let's go and quickly jump, and then try to solve some of the questions. Okay, so what are the questions? We have got some questions here, guys. Let me see. These are some popular questions that you can expect in the interview, right? Because wherever you go in the interview, they will definitely ask one question, at least one question um, from the which will be having the usage of the group by. Okay, so let's take the very first question. So find the count of employees department wise, right? So as we discussed theoretically, right, so we will have basically the count of each of the employee department wise. So how do we write in SQL, right? So guys, so we have to write select. Okay, now from, I think you are very familiar up to here, right? So select start from this. I will fill this column here later. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we have to immediately use group by, because we are not going to use where clause, because we are not going to filter anything, right? So we don't need to use the where clause here. So we are skipping the where clause, and I have to use the group by directly, and then I have to put based on what, department number, right? So one thing, guys, again you see here group by whatever columns we are specifying in group by, that column definitely need to come in select statement. Okay, all right. If I just run this, all right, let's see what happens. So it is just giving you department number, right? But what else we need, guys? We need the count, right? Count of each of the employees in each of the department, count of employee in the each of the department. So what I can do is I can just say count means I want to find out the rows, right? How many rows are there for this particular department? Department number, right? Each of the department number. So let's run it. Now we got it 100. We have 4. 101. We have 2. Similarly, right? So we have 5 departments, and these are the count of the employees as per this table, right? If you count all of them, it will be 15 because see 5, 9, 11, and then yeah 15, correct. And because we have the 15 rows right here, so this is completely working fine. Okay, guys, instead of select star, you can you have to basically you can always use I mean no need to write like this, but then I think you can also write like this. Yeah, again if we do not have we have some null value, then it will be ignored, guys, here. Yeah, so you can always use this command. Yeah, so finding the employee, um, count of the employee department wise, this is the query that you can use. Okay, now second question is find the sum of the salary against each department, right? Now we want to find out the sum of the salary. Okay, so what we will do is we will use the again the aggregate function sum. All right, sum of the salary we are actually going to use, isn't it? So we have to use the department for each department. That's what, right? So we have to find, obviously, this is the group by, and based on the department we are grouping, and we are actually saying sum of the salary for each of the department. Now we will do it. All right. So for 100, we have 62,101 days. Right. So similarly, this is the this is one second, guys. Let me just run it also. Show you also whether are we really getting the correct value. So let's verify. I think 101, I think. Okay, 101 we have 2, but one is having 0, so this will be actually ignored anyways because this is having null value. We explained in the previous video, right? So if you have not watched, please go and watch the videos related to aggregate function, right? So null values are always ignored when we are using the aggregate function on that. So we are using the aggregate function sum of the salary. So salary column, we are using the aggregate function as sum. Here, that's why it is ignored. So what it will do, it will consider only this. So sum of, so we don't have 2, right? So it's only 1. So this, that's why it is showing you 2004, 24,000, right? Correct? Okay. So I think we are good, guys. I think we just wanted to check it once. And so this is what the second question that we wanted to see the sum of the salary department wise. So this is how we can get it. All right. Now the third question is little tricky. Okay. So find the employee count department wise except for department number 100. Okay. So you remember we have used this query, isn't it? This will give you the count of what do you say? I think better I will use it like this because we want employee, right? Not only so whole rows we can take. Okay, so this is how, and but this is that we don't want the information, or we don't want the count or the department even uh, for department number 100. So what we can do is, guys, we can use the where clause, right? So where clause will obviously come after from clause, right? I have shown you here. So if I show you, yeah. So after from, we have to use the where clause if we are going to use it. So here, since we have to filter the 100 department number 100, that's why we have to use this, right? So we have to use the where clause. Okay. So I have to say where department number. I will say not 100. Okay. 1 second. This is giving you so department number and the count in account of the employee, right, in each of the department, except for department number 100, because I'm saying department number not 100. So I'm actually filtering it first, and then after that I'm actually taking the count. So you see guys, the 100 is here, but here 100 is removed because we have actually removed it. So you can also use it like this. This is also not equal to, this will also work. Okay, let's try. Yes, same result, right? So this is how you can use it. Okay, if you want to find out, means you want to remove something. And also you can if the similar question can be, okay, so department number, maybe I want 100 and maybe 103. So I am interested to know only the count for this particular two department number. Okay, I don't want rest of them, so I can use the in condition and I can just try to see. Okay, so it is actually giving you 100 and 103. So where clause basically is filtration, right? So filtering the rows. Yeah, all right. So this is how you can use the where clause here, and this is the syntax. All right. Now what we'll do is we will take the fourth question, right? Find the minimum salary of each of the department and display the output in descending order of their salary. Okay. First, what we will do is we will try to, so here we have to use the descending order, right? Which means we are going to use the order by clause also, guys. So let's look at one more time. So order by we have to use at the end, right? After group by we have to use the order by, okay? And where clause. So let's try to see that how it works. Now we will find the minimum salary of the each department, right? So what we will do again, again we will use the same kind of query, right? So when I say mm, each department, right, department number, obviously I will say from a employee, okay, and where, okay, where I'm not going to use, because see guys, we don't need to use the where clause because we are not going to filter anything, right? So what we have to use, we have to use the order by and group by. So order by, I will say department number. This is what we explained, right? So everything that is coming in order by all the columns has to come in the select clause also, right? Now what else I want? Department number, and I also want the count, right? Count, no, sorry, we want the minimum salary in the department. Okay, so minimum salary, min function we are going to use, and the salary we want to find the each department number and the minimum salary in that particular department number. All right. And also what we want to uh, we want to order it, right, in the ascending order, right, in the descending order of their salary, minimum salary. So obviously whatever salary it is coming, right, so we have to use min, order by min, and then salary, right, and descending we have to use. So I have created a video how you can use the order by, guys. If you're not very sure, you go and watch it. All right. So this is what the syntax for this run. Okay, sorry, one second, something went wrong. Employee, all right, not properly ended. One second, guys. Okay, let me check. Okay guys, looks like I got it. So here we have to use group by. Okay, yeah, it was I by mistake written on. So you see guys, so what we wanted to show you, we wanted to show the salary, whatever salary against minimum salary against each of the department is coming, that wanted in the descending order, right? So you're using the descending order, otherwise you can use the ascending order, then minimum will come on top. You see here, this is the lowest one, then this is the increasing order, right, the ascending order. And as I said, the order by clause, if you're not specifying, it will by default take ascending order only. You see that same output for this ascending and without ascending also, right? So I hope that this session makes sense and you are clear about this, all the questions. And believe me guys, if you know this, it is very very you know your confidence will boost up obviously, because you wherever you go, I said that they will definitely ask the question in the group by, right? So usage of the group by, and try to practice it. I think you will be able to crack any kind of interview, at least from the group by standpoint, right? Whatever I'm discussing. So hope you are able to understand. And now one more thing, guys. Last thing that I want to cover is the having clause. Okay, so having clause is basically is to filter out. It's like where clause only, but filtering that. It works on the aggregate functions actually, right? So where clause works on the row basis, but having clause works on mm, the group by or the aggregate function. So that is the small topic. I will just cover it after this, right? And then I think we are done with group by concept, and this is very important. And I think you should know that. Hope you are able to understand what I explained today. If you still have any doubt, guys, please comment on this video. I will be able to clarify. Okay. And so for now, I think we are done. And happy learning. And see you soon with the next video, guys. Thank you. Bye.